right now. I was going to record it just now. Matter of fact.
Okay. I just want to make sure because we don't have to wait for people at this point. You know, it's recorded, and then you can post the link in the group. There you go.
Exactly. Okay, let me share my screen now for everyone here. Okay, let's see here. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right. This is a blog post, folks, that came out on September 20th of last year, and it talked about merchants, but it's not outdated, folks, because it talks about some little specifics. And I'm gonna just go through it here. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing in terms of the content. What I want to go down here, where it says here, let me see here. It says, let me just expand my screen so I can see better. All right. It says, out of all the alternative cryptocurrencies in the world today, TBC is the only one completely free of the banking, manipulation, and the force of government. TBC already creates abundance within the world that has only known scarcity. TBC is a clear choice moving forward. We have had our trials and have a pattern of overcoming them, and we are stronger now than we ever been. It's time to speed up the growth within the TBC community. Now, the key word here we're talking about, folks, we're talking about today of our broadcasters meeting is focusing on merchants. Merchants can play a key role in speeding up our community growth, but not in the way you may be thinking they will. Too many of you in the TBC community only see that a merchant can do, what a merchant can do for you. You want more merchants to accept TBC Crinkles for payment. You want merchants to accept 100% of TBC Crinkles for their goods and services. My dear friends, those are not reasonable expectations. Don't you see merchants are smart business people? Merchants operate their businesses on reviving cash flow. Don't you see merchants are smart business people? Merchants operate their businesses on revolving cash flow. Now, think about that, folks. Think about when you go into a store and that merchant behind that counter, they're thinking about cash flow, folks. They got all their products and everything in their store, whatever that type of store that could be. But they're thinking about cash flow, okay? So it can't be for what we go into a store and we thinking, okay, I want a certain item here, a certain item there. But the main thing is that merchant or that owner is thinking about what you can do for them. They want cash flow, okay? All right. He says, don't you see the merchants are smart business people? Okay, I'll repeat that. Merchants operate their business involving cash flow, such as stocking their shelves and products they know will be sold. And when those products do sell, they keep the portion of that revenue generated as profit and pay themselves as their means of living, and majority of the revenue is used to restock the store shelves. Okay, now I'm gonna just go down here. This is one part that I want people to understand in terms of the growth of our community, how merchants, how it's so important that we use merchants as a mechanism to grow our community. I believe merchants can help us to get to 1 billion members in about 1 year. It didn't say 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, 1 year. Okay? I want the broadcast to keep that in their mind. Okay? Because this is something that I want y'all to also emphasize in your broadcasters meetings. What admin want us to do, because see, I've seen several blog posts that talk about how we want to encourage fast duplication. Notice I said those 3 words. I said nearly every my broadcast. Encourage fast duplication. So today we're talking about merchants to encourage fast duplication. If we, it says, I'll go on. If we present our opportunity in the right way, please do not go to merchants and try to convince them to accept 100% TBC Kringles as payment. They really don't see that people, they don't know what that is. And it's up to you. They don't even know what cryptocurrency is.
That's right.
You know, they don't know what cryptocurrency is. You know, that is up to you to educate them. You know, they're blind. You know, folks, do you know, listen, back in the day, we didn't even have credit and debit cards, folks. We were using checks. Before that, we still using our fiat currency, which is paper money. You heard it called dollars in the United States. And back in the day, and what we often use our language in terms of our currency, we talking about grains of gold. Okay? All right. They would not be interested in doing that, as I recently explained above. Why above? Okay. And okay, so folks, I'm just going to keep going down here, and I'm going to go down here where it says.
Can I interject a little bit there, Stephen?
Sure.
I just want to. I think it's interesting to think. You brought up such a good point, Stephen, that they don't know what TBC is. You know, merchants don't know what anything is, right? When you think about it, a merchant sets up a business, and they are strictly using regulated, currencies. Like you said, Stephen, cash now, fiat, check, credit cards. But, outside of cash and maybe checks of the old school, anything else, and of course, we've seen in our lifetime the adoption of credit cards and debit cards and stuff like that. But, anytime there's a coupon or anytime there's anything that, where people kind of come in and go, oh, hey, can I use this, or something? Usually that requires someone going into that store to the merchant and kind of doing a full-on explanation to that merchant and saying, hey, we'd like you to, use these coupons, and the school over here receives, school supplies for everybody that comes in and redeems these coupons. It requires someone to come in and give an explanation to the merchant before the merchant will even understand what it is. Mm-hmm. And anytime you see that merchant use something or have some kind of promotion or something like that, mm-hmm. that's because someone had to walk through the door and give a full explanation of what's going on. They didn't just go in there and say, hey, can you accept this? Because we need to, you need to exchange this for goods and services. It requires a lot of preparation and discussion with a merchant before you can expect them to just automatically accept it. And they have to see how it's going to make sure that they continue their revolving cash flow. Like you said, mm-hmm. if something interrupts their cash flow so they can pay their bills and restock themselves, you're asking them to go out of business. Mm-hmm. What merchant is going to do that?
I'm telling you, see what we have as TBCians, we have to realize, we have to be thinking what they're possibly thinking. And that what I mean by that is, as I stated earlier, they're thinking about making money, folks. That's what their main objective. They're thinking about, they stock those shelves for one purpose in mind, to make more money. And we go in there, oh, we're going to just, throw this TBC on them. They're going to say, TBC what? So let me just go on right here real quickly here. Okay. It goes down here and say, so what do I mean by you doing the heavy lifting? So this is you now, folks. This is us as TBCians. Says Make selling TBC risk-free and hassle-free for the merchant. Think about it. How many customers does a small business owner have per day? Product-based stores can easily attend to 100 or more customers a day. Same goes for restaurants. What if they had to do what it says on here? What if they had to do what was out? You know what they had to do? They had to hand out business cards to make money in TBC. Okay. So see, so what you got to do? You got to set up. You got to really step by step explain this to them, and maybe you want to do that with a business owner on maybe schedule an appointment with him to meet with him at his store and sit down and explain this to them, and actually have your computer or something. If they store, a lot of stores have Wi-Fi now, depending on where you are in the world, and actually show them what you are talking about, step by step by step. Okay? You will show them how to set up their KCBO account, or create an email account, in their business name. You will get them to pay the $10 admin fee. You will print off up to 1,000 business cards as indicated right in this photo right here, folks, which is in your KCBO. It's the same thing. You got something to say, Randy, or anybody? I thought someone was going to say something. I'm sorry. I'll keep going. All right. Okay. Now, one or two merchants will keep you plenty busy following up on their signups. Okay? One or two. Just focus on one or two in the beginning. Don't try to go out there and try to sign up 5 to 10 merchants in a week. Focus on that one or two that week, perhaps, or a few days. Make sure that owner or the managers understand. I think it's even better. You know what I was just thinking, Randy? Just came pop into my head. Perhaps, let's say I would first meet with the owner or manager or whoever, and then I would say, let's pick a day when we can actually have all your staff come in, or at least about some of your main staff come in, so they can understand, people that's on the floor that may have these business cards at the cash register to hand out to their customers before they leave for the day. So we got to be systematically, educate. See, this is the key word I'm using here. Educate these merchants before any activity starts.
And I think before any activity starts. Now, I think a question would be well, what do I say to a merchant walking through the door?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm a merchant, I'm busy. Okay, I'm busy. Now, if you come into my store and you go, "Hey, you want to accept TBC?" Then I'm gonna say, "I'm sorry, I don't have any time for this. Please leave." Now, if I say, "Hello, sir," or "Ma'am, I'm with the local TBC community here in our town, and we have a way for you to increase revenue in your business. We'd like to talk with you about that. When might you have time?" I'm sorry, did you say you were going to help me increase revenue in my business?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, sir. We are a global community, and our community members all around the world support merchants who are friendly to our community, and it has proven to be profitable with merchants that are part of our community. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, we have millions of people all around the world that support merchants that are friendly to our community. I mean, we'd like to have you involved in our community. It's a huge revenue for you, and you know, we continue to grow our community. So there's a lot of revenue for me. Yep. People who are merchants gain lots of revenue, lots of recognition, lots of you know, we have an entire economy that we're building around our community around the world, and we'd like you to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. Oh, of course. I mean, I want to support your community. Right?
And notice what you just said. Notice what he just said. See, it's all about the approach, right, Randy?
It's all about the approach. Mofo, you're going to say?
What you just said. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Put this in because we can forget it. You know, most of these messages. Are you getting me?
I don't think we're hearing you through your mic, brother.
Okay, let me switch it. Okay, can you get me right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to put this through, and I believe it may have a good stand with the merchants. You know, most merchants are looking for possibility to have a good group of people that they can do publicity for their business. So talking to them about TBC as a whole big community, in which at the same time they will also not only use TBC as a product that will add benefit to them, but they will have a whole big community of millions that is growing every day, of which they can be consumers of their product. That is a very good stand of which no merchant will want to allow. So I don't want everyone to add that to what Randy has just put in. It will make a whole full blog, which will really go a long way to make them to really want to assist in the distribution of the content. So I believe that is something really appreciable.
Well, think about this, Mofo. Think about Bitcoin, okay?
Yeah.
If you think about Bitcoin, why would a merchant accept Bitcoin? A merchant will accept Bitcoin so they can get additional revenue from the cryptocurrency economy.
Yeah.
Right? It says that in that video. What is Bitcoin? Right? Have you guys ever seen that original video? What is Bitcoin? And it's a little cartoon. Yeah. Plus, and at the end it says, plus you'll receive additional revenue from the Bitcoin economy or whatever. Guys, we want to introduce our merchants to our community so they can receive additional revenue from the TBC economy.
Exactly. This is exactly what we're talking about here, folks. But it has to be we have to use our system as a systematic way to educate each and every one along the way, because we cannot run into a store or any merchant and expect them to know what we're talking about. Because see, we can't be so excited about what we have. We know we have something. So imagine us going to the store. Oh man, you got to check this out, man. They would say, check what out?
Yeah.
You know? So Randy, you did an excellent job. You know, that role play, oh man. You know, and I'm telling you what people would need to do. Maybe what some TBCians would need to do is get together and role play. You be the merchant and the other person be the TBCian.
Yeah.
So y'all get it down. Both of you get it down. And I'm talking to people around the world. And I really am focused. I'm gonna focus just a little bit on the African community, the countries in Africa, because I know y'all got a lot of that going on in certain areas, and as well as over in the Asian countries like Philippines. I think it's really important. Like I know that Doc Dan is here. When you in the Philippines, make sure that you get with your leaders and do a little role playing, so everybody's on the same page and what to say, like Randy just did. Don't be too hasty to go out there and get all these merchants in, and then you go about it the wrong way. Please don't do that, folks, because if you do that, that's going to hurt us more than help us in the community. Remember, we're trying to encourage fast duplication through our merchant system. Because don't we have three campaigns? the merchant adoption campaign is what we're focusing on right here. See, this could be a very great thing we can do here in 2019. And folks, you know, like I said, when it spells it all out here in this blog post, folks. You just go into your blog. If y'all want to go over this again in your own leisure time, just go in your just type in merchants in the search bar. And it's titled Sponsored Merchants Does Offer the TBC Community the Shortest Path Towards Our Objective. And just go through this blog post again, because I know it's been since September that we had this, and perhaps y'all talked about this on your broadcast, but now admin is focusing a little more on merchants now by having a list of merchants in our KCBO real soon. So let's educate ourselves as much as possible with exactly how to approach a merchant. I know for me, I will focus on that one merchant before I even go to another one, making sure that one merchant got it down. How you feel about that, Randy?
Yeah. First of all, can you Neurobius Neurobus?
Talking about that sound?
Yeah, Neurobius.
Let me see.
I think that's a. We got a background there.
Let me mute that. Okay.
Okay, great. So first of all, guys, I did put the the link to that. I was gonna jump on that link too in the broadcast, but I didn't want to go fumbling around. So thanks for showing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyways, I posted that link. Guys, here's what I'm gonna say in addition to what Stephen's bringing up here. Stephen is bringing up a very, very good point, and obviously 2019 is merchant territory. Obviously, because the first send button meeting of the year, admin brings up this merchant thing. Going forward, yeah, I think all of us should take a look at like, Stephen, because you brought this up, this is my topic for my broadcast today. I'm going to go right to this post, and we're going to break this down. Here's one thing I want us to make sure we understand about this here, too. You ever see those videos where on YouTube where you see they show how news agencies on different channels, different places around the world, different everything, but they're saying the same thing? It's like they're following a script. And all of a sudden you realize, whoa, there must be one source of information distributed to all of these TV networks and news networks, and they're all given the same script, and they could be in Siberia, and they're saying the same thing that they're saying in Mexico. You see what I mean? You ever see that before? Guys, yes. That's how we need to be, okay? We need to use the same tactic.
Same tactic.
So today, I think it's important that this thing that Stephen's bringing up here is huge. And we should they should be like, whoa, I'm listening to the guy in California, the guy in Uganda, the guy in New Zealand, the guy in the Philippines, the guy in Cameroon, and they're all saying the same thing.
That's just my point. That's just nailed it. You just nailed it. That's
a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. They're all on the same. They're getting all their information from the same source.
We cannot be doing different things everywhere. We got to do it the same way in order to make it successful.
At least as much as possible, guys. At least as much as possible.
Very much like we do. And very much like we do, Randy, and the like we bring people into our community, you know?
Yeah. There should be one message that's coming down from admin, right, through the blog, through us as broadcasters, so on and so forth. But we should all be on the same page. And I think this merchant thing, this is the topic. It's like, remember a couple of days ago on New Year's when we were all reading the accomplishments for 2018?
Yeah.
Must have been 20 people did the same broadcast. That's what it should be. Admin listed at least 10 of them in the blog post, right?
I went through that whole thing. I know you did too. Wow.
Went through the whole thing. There's a lot of people that went through the whole thing. Guys, we should all do that for this merchant thing for sure. And then and beyond in 2019, we should all try to, like, you know, that whatever's on that blog, you know, that should be the topic of the discussion for everybody's blog post, for everyone's broadcast. And yeah, I'm gonna break this down too, Stephen.
Because I remember when you went over there, and guess when I saw that blog early this morning, and then when you went over in the 10 button meeting, I said, I'm gonna go. I remember this particular blog post. Y'all know, guys, I'm into the blog like crazy, so I know how to find things like crazy. You got a subject matter, I can find it. You know, some people call me the blog encyclopedia. You know, I'm in it, guys. I'm in it to win it. You know, so this thing right here, this blog, I would say it was. I remember when it came out, and then about a few days later, the Rapid Rewards came out. You know, so this was the blog. This was the particular one here that kind of broke it down. You know, how to actually, you know, explain it to a merchant. So Randy, and I'm gonna say this to you all the people that's broadcasters, get the word out to make sure you be at Randy's live broadcast today, because he's gonna break this down. Now, I know Randy, I'm sure we went over this back in September. I'm sure we did. But sometimes we gotta go back and really break this down, because this was the blog post that admin broke it down how you should really go about it.
Yeah, which was at the time. I think what's important here is at the time that this blog post came out, people were clamoring about merchants.
Yes, it was.
But they were thinking, when's the merchants going to start accepting TBC? And like you said at the beginning, it's not about our agenda.
No.
You know, to have them accept TBC, we got to look at it from their perspective, you know, cash flow renewal, you know, all these kind of things. So, yeah, we'll break it down, brother.
You cannot go into a merchant with a selfish attitude, folks. This is a very unselfish thing. It's about them, because haven't you noticed something that both Rand and I said about is about them making revenue? Well, guys, listen. I'm not going to keep going. We want to keep this down, these meetings a little shorter, guys. You know, so make sure just be at Randy's live broadcast today. I'm probably for my broadcast, I'm gonna just go over what was in the blog, you know, because I try to keep my broadcast about a half an hour myself. I've been focusing really on that hard.
It takes a little while to get used to doing a 30
But I couldn't. But you and I both, we did the same thing that same day. That long one was the longest one ever.
Well, you mean that hour one? Yep.
Yeah, you did it shorter than me. I did it like an hour and 10 minutes. You know, you beat me at that one, Randy, because I tell you, I could not do it in an hour. That one.
Yeah, I think that's another good point to make, guys. Let's be lean and mean in 2019. Hey.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Lean and mean in 2019. We'll collapse time frames. My broadcasts are going to be 30 minutes. Cash flow coaching only 30 minutes. Send button meeting 30 minutes.
Use that what you just said.
Lean and mean in 2019.
You got to write it down. Say that again in your broadcast. Then admin, I'm gonna say it.
Can you say it again? I didn't catch it.
Hey, we're gonna be lean and mean in 2019.
That's right.
Okay, I got it right now.
Let's use that, folks. Let's use that in our broadcast.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. Boom. Hey, when we get into the broadcast, have an attitude of, hey guys, we're here for a quick minute. I'm gonna share something quick with you. Once you get this information, take it out there, duplicate it, distribute it to information, make sure it's hot with the people that you influence. Here's the message. All right, guys, go for it. Let's go. See you next time. Peace. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Boom.
Yeah.
Lean
it.
and Mean. Lean and Mean in 2019.
And remember, your broadcasts are getting recorded, so they can go back and listen to it again.
They can always go back and listen to it again.
Yeah, I always record them and listen to them afterwards because when the information is there, it's very fast. But when you listen to them afterwards, you collect all the listening points and the information is good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let me just spend this last minute. Does anyone else got any questions? Any broadcaster got any questions here before we end our broadcasters meeting? Anyone at all? Anyone? Scott, you got a question? You're good? Bex, anybody? Darren? You know, I've been really supporting Darren. Darren has been on my broadcast, and I've been on. He's a great broadcaster. You know, Darren is over 200 now. Darren
is doing very great job now.
Darren is killing it.
I know it. You know, Randy. You know him and you know he's showing up on the blog a lot too.
Yeah, Darren is killing it.
Yep.
Yes.
He is that.
I think, I know I don't always tune into all the broadcasts and hang out for the whole time, but a lot of you guys' broadcasts, I go in, I kind of check you after the fact. All of you guys doing really great. Sharif and you guys.
Oh my God! When speak about Bangladesh people,
the Bangladesh people, New Zealanders, and Bangladesh. I mean. Woo! That's, gosh.
They killing it. Y'all crushing it. We use that word crushing in the U.S.
I'm from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
And we use that word, y'all crushing it. Y'all crushing it in TBC.
We need a sign for Bangladesh. What's the sign for Bangladesh? I don't know.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You know, we'll do some kind of sign, you know, like like this or something, because it's sort of like a B, you know, for Bangladesh, you know, a B, you know, Bangladesh. I don't know, something.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We are hard working Bangladesh community.
You know, Bangladesh is now the place I want to go visit. You know, I never even thought about visiting Bangladesh, but now I want to go there.
I'm telling you, man, we got to get over there to see them. I mean,
hang out with Sharif.
I met Sharif and Israq and Mizanor, he's in Germany.
Yeah.
And Simone, he's in Italy, but he's still a part of the Bangladesh community.
Yes, sir.
These guys support my every single day. They're at my, and get this, they're at my broadcast at 2 o'clock in the morning their time.
That's how they do it.
That's commitment right there, folks. Yep. I'm telling you. I love those guys, man. They're great. They're wonderful. Wonderful. But anyway, Randy, and all these broadcasts today, I want to wish all of y'all a happy new year. I'm sorry I didn't say that before time, folks. Forgive my manners today, but you know, we got to make it happen in 2019. We had a great 2018 as far as our community from what we went through in 2017, technology-wise. So let's get people involved. You know what thing is a person that I really want on these broadcasts, and I know he probably busy at his training facility, Mr. M. Derek. Woo!
Yeah.
My
goodness. Killing it.
Killing it, man. My goodness. He is killing it, folks. Imagine we had a facility like that, all the broadcasters. Can you imagine what we could do and bring people in this community? We had a facility like that. My goodness. Okay, folks. All right. It's great having you all here today. Have a great rest of the day. You got some more meetings to go to close with Randy. I think you started your cash flow coaching again today, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me ask. Darren wanted to know this while you're here real quick. He said that your cash flow coaching is like a half an hour early or something. What's that about? Did you say anything like that? Oh, okay. Well, Darren was telling me about. He thought that maybe your cash flow coaching was earlier. You gonna make it earlier.
Yes, I think we did have I discussed it, and I was thinking about making it a half an hour earlier because I could do my send button my broadcast meeting at 10, end it at 10:30, and then start the send button meeting at 10:30 and just go to 11, and it's all good right there. So maybe, yeah, I think I did discuss that. I was going to actually ask my friends in New Zealand because I know it's pretty early in the morning there when we do the send button meeting. I don't know if a half an hour earlier puts you guys out or not. Bex, I see you there. Darren, I don't know how does it affect you guys there? It's okay? I mean, you guys don't sleep? Okay, you guys don't sleep. That's right. You guys. New Zealand doesn't sleep, you know.
Well,
I think we need a sign. We need a poster that says New Zealand doesn't sleep. Because it don't matter what time anything is for these guys. They're just there.
They're the first. They're one of the first countries on Earth that's seen the sunlight, whether y'all realize it or not. Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask, Darren. I'm gonna. Is a half hour earlier okay, brother?
That's okay for me. It's probably better. It's a bit of students at school and everything like that. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll set that up. Okay, guys.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for being at this broadcasters meeting. Thank you so much, Randy, for all that you do. Guys, I'm telling you, he is a great partner out there, man. I'm telling y'all, I've been sending so many people that's been messaging me, particularly in Africa. How do I cash flow? TBCRandy.com.
Yes.
TBCRandy.com.
We're gonna be lean and mean in 2019, folks.
Yep. All right. Have a great day, folks, and peace for everybody.
Guys.
All right. Bye bye.
Guys.
All right.
Peace. And bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay.
Peace, guys.
Stop share. Okay. Stop recording.